Hey, so this is Daniel, Mr. Dan Danieli. I suppose this is one of my first videos where I commit to. Recently, I made a choice to wanted to start making videos on a consistent basis. So I'm setting myself a goal of just making one quick video. I hope this is quick per week. So we'll see how well I keep up with this goal. So yeah. So I guess every week I'll be making a video like this, kind of acting as a blog, or really a vlog, if you will, in this only spare time that I have, which is really my time driving to work. My day is so packed between my work job, the daytime work, and my nighttime teaching work, and also the ministry that I'm involved in, and let alone taking care of two kids, cooking for them, and telling them stories. Anyway, so this is my first video. Hopefully you enjoy it. So every video I'm going to try to share a little bit insight about who I am, what I do as a artist, as a designer, my journey on how I am stepping into you might call it prophetic art. So there you go. I'm a Christian. I've been that for like at least 30 years. Not gonna dive into too much about how I got saved and my encounters with God, in my teenage years and whatnot. But I have to say this: for a long time, I lived as a believer, as a Christian, and I'm definitely not one of those Sunday Christians who only shows up on Sundays or only shows up on holidays and at church, whatnot. For the most part of my life, I try to be as actively involved in my church, whatever that church might be, as possible. So that's one thing. The other thing that I suppose set me apart a little bit is that I'm also a concept artist. I have the privilege of being trained to be accepted and actually survive through and then actually graduated from Art Center College of Design, which it's not a school that most people know about. Most people know about schools like USC, UCLA, Berkeley, and the Ivy League schools and whatnot. Art Center is one of those schools that are relatively unknown to the public, unless you're in the design industry, or unless you're in the entertainment industry, or film industry, special effects and whatnot. Then you're going to hear a lot about Art Center. Art Center is one of the most prestigious, if you will, design schools in the world, in a lot of disciplines, and especially in car design, product design, and quite recently entertainment design, which involves gaming and film and special effects and whatnot. So Art Center is extremely well known for those fields. I was privileged to be able to attend there, survive through there. It's a tough program, and be able to graduate from there and be a professional concept artist for the last 15 years. So that's the other part about my life. And and for the longest time, I kind of thought that I was living a good balance between I suppose a good Christian and a creative artist working professionally in a world that's pretty anti, really, for good reasons and bad. Pretty anti on conservative values and the Christian faith. So for a long time I thought I kind of lived, in the world, but not of the world. I thought I achieved that quite well, and I had some measure of success in the theme entertainment design world. I was able to, and still able to serve, have the privilege to serve many clients in the theme park development industry. So God revealed to me in a very unusual and frankly a painful way about a few years ago that my art, which reflects my life, really had a lot of darkness in it. And I'm saying this because I created these art while I thought that I'm already I'm already pursuing the Lord and being actively involved in church, and even had a lot of exposure in the spiritual gifts. I began to learn how to speak in tongues and pray in tongues, and that's been about almost like 10 years. I've had the ability to practice that. But despite of that, what I didn't realize was there is a lot of darkness in me. And it reflected through my art. You could see it throughout, my teaching career, my excuse me, I think I'm lost. All right. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it reflected in my art and design, in my entertainment design, in my theme park design. It's kind of like the idea of, even though I say that I'm a Christian, and I believe I'm a Christian, I believe I'm born again, and I do my best to live out the kind of life that God wants me to live, to glorify Jesus and all that. But my art it's as of there is still a lot of witchcraft and idolatry elements within everything that I created. At the same time, when I was being actively involved in church, and even I even pray for people, to get healed emotionally and maybe sometimes even physically, but at the same time I was creating art that had elements of the false gods, if you will, and even elements of the bad angel realms. I'll just put it that way. Okay. And I was pretty stubborn about it, because my thinking is, okay, we need to be in the world but not of the world, so we need to expose ourselves to all the darkness, and almost to learn to live with the darkness, so that we would be able to, I guess, relate to the world that we work with, and we really believe, I really believe that, through understanding the darkness, maybe we discover our power. Okay. So, hey, just because I call myself a Christian, just because we call ourselves Christians, doesn't mean we really walk in the light. At least that's from my experience. So for the longest time, my art has been like that. God had to put me through a very painful process to weed that out of me, to begin to rebuild my my spiritual art language, if you will, to clean up my art, and really to clean up who I am inside. Am I done with the process? No. but I'm pretty sure that God has begun to do that. So if you look at my art now, you'll see a lot more themes of light, clouds, lights in the nature, spiritual armor, biblical scenes and things like that. Because that represented the shift that God had, the very dramatic shift, that God had taken me through, to shift really my theme of art, towards the direction of light, and steering away from anything that glorifies darkness and things of that nature. So in my art, I have a lot of blood and gore, and because I think, okay, that's something, that's something in the Hollywood world, that resonates, with the audience. So so in the recent years, we begin to have increasingly violent, gory even, films that are coming out, not just from Hollywood, but even from within the Christian entertainment world. The Passion of Christ, in many ways, is an amazingly well done film. I have a lot of respect for the production value and the people who are involved in that film. And having said that, for me now, a film like that is just too much for me. God has taken me away from creating art for Him. That God has taken me away from overtly exposed elements of violence and darkness and gore, into something that honestly I'm kind of unfamiliar with. And so I've been on this journey to create art that, at least that to me, is not only glorifying to God, but also by itself invite the presence of God. So that's been my goal, for the last 2 or 3 years, since God has changed my life, kind of going through this born again process. I don't know, hopefully some of you guys relate to what I'm talking about. And a lot of times when I go through that process, I realize that when we go through a process of true transformation, a lot of times it's a process that most people will not understand. When I say most people, I'm saying not even most Christians, born again Christians, will understand. When you're at that place, if you're a believer in Yeshua, if you're a Messianic believer or a Christian, and maybe you're really serious about your walk with God. If you're serious about your walk with God, be prepared, guys. Be prepared that God may take you through seasons with the S, where what you're going through, maybe nobody will understand. I don't even want to say understand. Maybe nobody will accept. Okay, it's impossible to understand 100% what we go through all the time. You won't understand 100% what I go through, and vice versa. But at the same time, be prepared that you may go through seasons where you'll be completely alone. And I'm talking about, again, completely alone from other Christians, who cannot and are not able to relate to your experience, or at least be able to accept that you have an experience which they cannot understand, and you may face rejection. To be honest, you may face rejection. You may be ostracized. Be alone. You may not be wanted within your own family or spiritual family. I don't say this because to try to scare you, but I'm saying this because a few of you who may be watching this is already going through that. Okay? And if this speaks to you, I just want to encourage you, you're not alone. You're in a crack that very few people around you understand, but you are not alone. This is your season where God is taking you through a transformation that very few people will ever understand, and very few people might ever go through. Once again, I'm emphasizing by very few people, I mean very few believers of Yeshua. Okay? So, hopefully, this is my first quick video. Well, yeah, on my way to work. And hopefully this has encouraged someone. Definitely really hope this will encourage someone. Maybe offended quite a few of you. I'm sorry if that happens. The material happened. My views are just my views. They're just my own. I'm not saying I'm God or anything, but I'm just sharing my experiences, and I'm hoping to help out somebody out there who may be in a situation like mine, which is quite unusual. Okay. Alright, so anyways, thanks for listening to my ramble. Tune in next time. I'm going to try to do this at least once a week. Hopefully, every time I do this, it's not going to be so long. Hopefully, I'll be able to keep this short. Yeah, so thanks again for listening. If you're watching this, please hit the bell icon and hit subscribe. And if this has blessed you in any way, please hit that like button to encourage me and let me know that I should make more videos like this. Alright, man. So, I'm almost at work. Thank you guys for watching, and